welcome back to my channel. I am here today with a very, very, very important person. I'm here with the mama. She is a journalist.
Hi guys, hi, I'm a mama,
Yeah.
Mama Lou, and I am a journalist. I'm aspiring author and all the nice fancy stuff. But we're here to talk about something very, very important today. We're here to talk about faith in mind, Islam, and mental health.
And you guys know mental health and Islam is a very big part of my YouTube channel. So we'll be digging into that. So please get a coffee, grab your popcorn, a Red Bull, I guess, I don't know, and sit back and relax.
To get more into it and to know who we are even more, because we're getting deep. So I mean, you gotta know who we are to talk deep. You know what I mean? We are going to be going with who we are behind the bios and the followers. Who is Ash?
Ash, if you're on my YouTube channel, you know I'm just a random girl that wants to do YouTube, and I love film, I love recording, and I just want to be an aspiring person for people. I don't know. One of the people I really look up to in terms of recording and like biography is Emma Chamberlain. I have to say, that woman and her career and her success, I can't. I'll be talking all day if I get started. But anyways, more back to me. What else am I?
She's a TikToker that you will see on your FYP every single day.
Yeah, very
I love it.
consistent TikToker. But I do YouTube, Instagram. It's just there for the vibes. But well, I also want to get into Twitch. Hopefully one day you'll be seeing me live stream. Right now, that is not the case. But yeah, and who is?
You know, like she said a whole lot of stuff, and like I don't know how I'm gonna beat that. But again, my name is Mama Lou, and I am a journalist for Salam Media, and I don't know who I am now, guys. I don't know who I
I feel
am.
like once you get put on the spot, it's like, oh gosh.
On my room, looking in the mirror, I can tell you a story and a half. But like now, I don't really know. But basically, I'm all for the youth, for the empowerment of youth, for getting to know who you are and building on the potential that I know you have and you know you have too. So talking about mental health is something that's really important to me, because youth and mental health, they're like this. They go hand in hand. Gen Z, like we are depressed.
Yeah.
And let's be open about it. Be able to say that, you know what, I'm not okay, I'm depressed, and that's just fine. So I'm really excited to have this conversation, especially with Ash, because we somehow are the exact same person.
It is so odd.
And I think having this conversation in the sun and about mental health is we need it.
Okay. Are we going to? Yeah. So why is it? Didn't we cover why it was actually necessary to record? So why do you think mental health is? Wait, how do I start the book? Taking this Why do you think mental health is treated like a secret? Not even in only Muslim homes. It's just, I feel like it's culture. Go ahead.
Our parents trashing them or anything, but they grew up in a time when speaking about your feelings and speaking about what's really going on in your head is taboo. And they also were exposed to, social media that we have, where we're able to say, okay, wait, no, something's wrong. My behaviors are not normal.
Yeah.
So to them it was normal. So when we're coming in and saying, this is not normal, that's not normal, it's new to them. Things to do when you see something that you don't know is to shut it out. It's wrong. It's a secret. Don't tell anyone about it. Keep it to yourself, because you don't want to hear it, because it's going to trigger other people's trauma.
Yeah.
And it just is what it is at the end of the day. So I think it's a secret in many homes, because the parents can't talk about it, and if we start talking, it's gonna be
shambles.
Exactly.
What do you think? I feel like, as back to you, our parents grew up in a very different time. Not speaking about it, but also I don't think back in the day they had enough time to sit and be like, depressed, or I have anxiety. There were definitely feelings like that, but I do think there was just so much. Obviously it was a different time, no social media, no TikTok, no Instagram, where you're comparing everyone else's lives, where your person's a billionaire but you're comparing your life to them, and that makes no sense because you don't know really. But either way, I think also culture comes in, parents are not comfortable talking about things, they didn't grow up, and most of them, they're not willing to open up as quick as, and it's understandable because you can't really, it's hard for everyone to open up, but I guess sometimes we also forget that they haven't, grown up in that time, and we're kind of just thinking of them as like, not neglectful, but you're like, gosh, I'm going through this, you're not helping me out, but it's different for them. It's not the same, they didn't grow up in the same generation, and I think as much as like we should understand, but I guess parents should also try their hardest to have an understanding and being like, okay, you know what, maybe I should, go out of my own way, understand what these feelings are, and try to help my kid. I don't know. Have you ever tried to open up and it backfired? Really bad.
What the heck, man?
I told you, man, we're going to.
I think, if we're like moving away from parents, I'm just speaking about, I think that like if, I'm always speaking about parents, just people in general. I have a really big mouth, and the second something's in my mind, I gotta say it out loud. And if I'm going to something, everyone's gonna know. Even if I'm just like really fine and everyone looks, at some point I'm gonna burst and just start telling you everything. And it's happened on too many occasions that weren't, very much in my favor. But yeah, it backfired as hell, man. Like people look at me and like I don't know, some kind of alien. Like, why are you feeling like that? And I think for me, it's a lot of like my mental health issues. Not just like a case, but like my mental health issues are like towards like the way that I look, the way I dress, things like that. Because it doesn't matter how much of the Islamic society, and it's always going to be a stigma. It's just always going to be the issue. So for me, it's like, okay, damn, you don't look like me, and you telling me that like what I'm feeling is not relevant. So no, it's hurt my feelings, and those are things that till today, from when I was young to today, is still, it affected my way of life. It's affected the way that I think, because you always think what other people are going to say. You know what, whether they say, I don't care what other people are going to say, at the end of the day, you really do. And so when it backfired multiple times, it's really messed with me, but, it's a work in progress, maybe slow, but it's working,
I feel like it's also like you need to make sure you know the person that you're trying to open up to. For me, it's backfired horribly. I've been through some mental health stuff, and I think as much as it's like talk to someone, for me, I'd rather journal. I'm not going to talk about the people or anyone because I just think that's wrong, but for me, I thought opening up would be the best option, but I think it made it worse.
I think with me, I think TikTok is a terrible place because the second I'm sad, of course my FYP knows I'm sad, shows me every sad video they give, and I repost it as everyone's gonna know I'm sad today. And what's funny is I see like this name on TikTok and I'm like, okay, I know a lot of people with this name, and they say, well, hi, like, hope you're good, just wanna know I'm always here for you. I was like, I didn't ask for that, but I do. Thank you. Like, no offense, I'm not trying to sound like a mean girl, but like it was very uncalled for. I mean, don't worry about my repost, okay? And so later on, when I got the courage to go and check like who this person is, we haven't spoken in like 4 years. I haven't spoken to this person in 4 years. I didn't even know we had each other on TikTok, and I guess she was sad too when it came up on her For You page, and so then I reposted it. It's like, hope you're good and everything, and I was like, thanks, but it really messes me. I was like, no, there's a level, and I feel like it backfired me because it's like, I repost and I did it to myself, but how do you feel about like someone that you don't know just messaging and telling you like it's gonna be okay, especially if it's like the lack of awkward terms?
I'm not gonna lie, that would never happen to me. But
well, damn.
No, I just don't have people I talk to anymore. Like when they are out, I'm not giving you a way back in. Apologies.
It is what it is.
Yeah, but hey, I don't even know what to do. I'll be like, hey, thanks for looking out for me.
I didn't know what to say. I was just like, thanks, you're so sweet. Like, I didn't know what to say.
It's fine.
Okay, next topic is the aftermath of COVID. Which, you know what, it needs to be spoken about too, because I feel like we took that chapter of our lives and threw it in the bin, and everyone is just like in 2025 now, like it's been a big 25. But COVID had a very big impact on a lot of people in different ways, and so my first question you can say is, do you think we really talk about how COVID affected us mentally?
I'm not gonna lie, the last thing we do is to talk about how COVID is affected. Like, obviously everyone went through a really hard time with whether it was like people passing away, just people not being able to stay indoors with people being able to stay indoors. Like, I don't know, for me, for an extrovert who needs to be around people, I was going nuts. I have to say that. And I think, gosh, we definitely don't talk about it enough, is because, as Mama said, it's just a chapter we've thrown away. No one wants to look back to it. To some people, this is like the best time of their life. For some, it was possibly the worst. I would schedule it or add it to my...
I think for me, COVID was so different. It was like a mix of both, because for one, like, I was again losing my mind, just like Ash, because I needed to be outside. You know, so being restricted in my house with my siblings, 7, like, we were losing it. And secondly, it was hard because I had a lot of time with my feelings, a lot of time with my emotions, and it was in that time, like, I was having the craziest growth spurt. I was finding who I was, like, I was going, bonkers at that moment. So I had all this time on my own to find who I am, and it was a rough journey because I myself didn't know, and I was bawling, and I was bawling my eyes out. So it was good. I enjoyed, sleeping and just chilling all day.
Among Us. I don't know if you played Among Us, but I played Among Us. Video games?
Really? I was like watching a lot of TV, a lot of Netflix and
played
stuff.
a lot of games.
Yeah, I think, this is crazy to say, but during lockdown, I watched, I think it was season 1 to season 13 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
No.
I watched the entire thing. And, I loved it. I was
Monster, bro.
And now when I think about it, I would never do that.
Yeah.
Like, I do not see myself doing that. Like, in the moment, like, that was good. But going back about like, how it affected us mentally, it messed everyone up. Because who people were in early 2020, 2019, and who they were, like, say, in 2023, two completely different people.
Yeah.
Everyone knew they were depressed, or they had ADHD, they had anxiety. Everyone found themselves, and we were just a messed up generation. But look at where we went from 2023 to 2025. We've grown, still going insane, but in a better way.
We're working through it. Yeah.
Like, I think we're just coping better.
We're coping.
Yeah. What do you think?
For me, it was, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm not saying it was a bad time. There were good times, but my grandparents were in my house.
I love
Dad's
that
house.
I mean, I didn't hear anything, did you?
So it was definitely a hard time, and I think mentally as well. For me, being isolated is the worst thing you can possibly do, and it's also like, just being in your fields and being able to constantly just relapse on every emotion constantly, because you have nothing to do. You could go out, you literally have nothing to do. Don't get me started on online school because I did not. Don't get me started on online school because I did not even join. I did join classes, guys, but I joined at like 1 o'clock, and then there's 2 hours
we
left.
joined teachers, like,
We joined.
like, I was there. I mean, my name was there, was I don't know.
I don't know. Spiritually, yes. Mentally, no. I was asleep, tucked in bed. But I wanted to ask the next. The next top. Yeah. Moving on to the next topic, which I think both of us are on social media. So, social media pressure. Do you ever hit a point where social media is just made you not feel good enough, or like just social media is such a bad place? As much as it is like amazing, but we all know mentally it's. Well, what are your thoughts and feelings on this?
God damn it, man.
Yeah, we're going deep, man. We can't.
Social media, as much as I'm on there, my screen time is insane, and it goes to it. I share my entire life. I share everything about me online. I hate it. I hate it for everything I have in me. You know, I was just telling Ash earlier that before, like, I was a TikToker of note. You know, if you open that app, I was on your For You page. And,
Don't get me started. Me and Charlie D'Amelio were besties.
bruh. And then I had even Addison Ray. But I just think that it's good in the moment when you live it, when you're doing it for you, you know, and you don't care what anyone has to say. But it got from me personally to a point where every video I posted, everything I had some kind of negative connotation to it.
Yeah.
Everybody always had something to say, whether it was my comments, my, you know, people around me. It was always, there was something wrong with my videos. So I just kind of pulled away from it, and now like I share my whole entire life on Instagram, which I don't think makes it any better.
Yeah.
But it's terrible. Every time you open your phone, you're looking at people that I wish I looked like her.
Yeah.
I wish I was like that. I wish I had that much money. So as much as it's fun, but we're just filling our lives with a whole lot of unrealistic expectations. I mean, I don't know what the guy's name is that wakes up 5 a.m.
Ashton Hall.
Yes, Ashton Hall. You know, he dunks his face in ice cold water, sparkling water, and that.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are you doing? It is giving you views, but at what cost? And you have little boys that think that jumping in a pool for 3 minutes is the goal in life. Do you know what I mean? So it's just not a good place.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it's not a good place.
Agreed.
What do you think?
For me, I hate to say this, but it's really that damn phone up. I don't want to admit that our parents are correct, but it really is that damn phone. Because for me, I started with social media really early. On like, I don't know, I had like TikTok and I was making videos and dancing and blah blah blah, stuff.
Allah forgive us.
But other than that, it was more of like every post I was posting, whether it was on Instagram or on TikTok, dependent on my self-worth. The reaction I got from the comments, from the likes was like, okay, if I got this much, that means I am that good. And it's I think that was the reason in I think 10th grade I actually deleted all social media. I was not on TikTok, I was not on Instagram. So I was just empty. All I had was YouTube. That's when I started a YouTube channel. But the difference I saw in my lifestyle when I removed all these apps, and then I came back, but I had more self-control, like, because I knew how it affected me. But also, I mean, I think we all hate these apps. As much as we like them, we create them, we hate them. But apps, we all know, like, we all hate them. Like, we created them, we hate them, but it's like, I don't know, when I came back to Instagram, that was the one I hated the most, I have to say. I came back on Instagram like this year, okay? I still do not like that app. And it's like, not because I still can't physically fit it in my mental ability. Like, it's, I have the app, but I have it on my laptop. I did not keep it on my phone because I just don't know. It's an app that just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know. So I can't keep it on my phone, so it's always on my laptop. So
that's actually like, you know, I've never thought of someone having Instagram on their laptop. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's a bit weird. If you ask me to put up my Instagram, I'm like, hold on. Yes.
But that just shows how people think that social media means everything to, you know, our generation, to Gen Z. But it means different things to different people. For example, for you, YouTube is your everything.
Yeah.
You know, for me, right now where I'm at, Instagram is my everything.
Okay.
And it's like, but together, we're making a perfect duo. Thank you very much.
TikTok
So,
and stuff.
like, it's nice and it's okay. You don't have to be. That's another thing that I have to talk about. Like, people use the social media that you have and your presence online to define who you are, to define everything you are. That you can't be anything except your online persona.
Yeah.
I'm nothing like this. Like the way you guys see me and I scream all of that. I mean, I scream all the time, but like, it's much different, you know. You're not going to see the real me, and that's okay, you know. But then you have influence people. You meet them online, you meet them in person, rather, and oh, they're total terrible people. So like, you have to know your balance. This is like people that are online with us.
Yeah.
And you know, I want to like go into another, you know, like topic in this is that how do you deal with the pressure of being on and looking like you have it together? I will like bust my brain right
Yeah.
now. Can I just say that
Yeah.
I'm struggling, honestly. Having it look like I have everything together when I constantly am in my bed with my bonnet on and my big smoothie on. That is how you're gonna find me. Ask anyone. It's
Yeah.
pink as well. Everyone knows my
Oh, you
pink
have a
bonnet.
pink one.
Yeah, I have a pink one. And everyone knows me as that, and not as this mom that you see that's put together, always has her makeup done. You can't see it, but like always has her fit on. That's not human for one. That's not normal to have it all the time put together. Then it's so much pressure on me that I have to be perfect. And for a while, like I just disappeared off every social media too. Like maybe 3 months ago, like I didn't post anyway because I was like, I can't do this. I'm tired of acting like I'm okay. I'm tired of acting like, this is easy. When Michaela said that social media is a much harder job than, real jobs, and everyone hated on her, you know what? We didn't go through it. You know how long I'm going to edit this video that we're posting
we're
right
gonna
now?
be editing.
You know how much editing is, you know how many hours? I filmed a 15-minute video the other day. It took me 4 hours to edit. So please, like, we're not going to do that. What about you?
For me, okay, I do think it is hard. I think it's just hard to keep up a happy and a positive persona 24/7, which I don't. I like to be myself, I guess, on YouTube. I don't always show that I'm happy. I don't always show. You've seen me cry a couple of times, maybe. But for me, it's like I don't think I'm not consistent in being this. Sorry, I'm not consistent in being this happy, positive thing. If I'm going down the trenches, I will just post about it. You shouldn't do that, please do not. But like there's points where I get burnt out and I won't post for like a week, and then I'm like, I've done, what am I doing all this for? I'm literally ruining my whole, consistency pattern. But I think it's just like I let myself do it when I want to, because obviously it's not like my main thing, which I would love to be, but
Can't always have that.
So I'm just like, I try my best. I make sure I got decent content, as long as it's not like, crazy and against my everything. I think I'm fine, and all I want to do is I just want to give like an authentic version of myself instead of giving. But also, if I'm down bad, I really won't go out of my way to like be like, oh guys, I'm doing so good today. I woke up at like 5 o'clock. No, I didn't. I woke up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's be realistic.
Can I just say something about that? I think like for me on my Instagram, I've given myself this insane thing that I have to be perfect, which I don't have to.
Yeah.
I've given myself this like, look, I have like these people that
you
are
have to
verified following
put
me.
up.
I gotta look good. Like my bosses watch my story.
Yeah.
I gotta look good. But I think with my YouTube, which guys subscribe.
Subscribe, that's how you subscribe.
Subscribe to 1K.
Oh, thank you.
But I feel like on my YouTube, I'm trying to like show a more authentic version of myself, and I need to see the insane weird side of me that like a lot of people don't really get to see, and like how my family sees me, because that's me. It's not just a assalamu alaikum, everybody, we're live at, and I'm that's not me. I want you guys to see that. So if you don't subscribe, I know where you live.
I know where you live, bro. IP address is coming out. I have an A star in computer science. Watch out.
She's gonna get me all your address. The next one is, do you think we know who we are outside of our Instagram stories and TikTok videos?
Yes.
And how can it be? I say yes too. Yes.
I think it's just because of how long of a break I took off these apps. I made sure I knew who I was and what my worth is and what I want to do and what I don't want to do before I got back on these apps, because it would just be so wrong and be disrespectful to yourself if you didn't. And I think there are people out there that don't, which is sad, but I was that person. So it's like, you can't figure it out. For everyone, it's not always to maintain social media, but I got into so many hobbies, I found out what I liked, and I kind of got my spark back getting off social media, and then now I can be myself because that's just me.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually awesome. That's sweet. That's really sweet. I say 100% yes, yes, and yes. I know exactly who I am. You know what? I stand on that because I like me. I like who I am, and as much as I have like 3 different personas that I put on for different people, different situations, those are all different versions of me.
Yeah.
It's all me, just in a different font. And so like it's okay. You know, I think some people think that having an online persona means you don't like who you really are. And I was like, damn, like I don't, you know, I was asking myself that question. I'm like, no, I like who I am. I know who I am, and I just show you different versions of who I am. And I mean, it's nice. It's really nice. You see, like already now, it's nice. That's who I am. And list one social media lie we've all believed before.
Oh. Are we talking about like just something you saw on social media or something about like social media?
I think something you saw.
Oh gosh, I've believed a lot of crap. I've gotten scammed, and I'm not even lying. And it's just so sad because I'm like getting scammed at this big age.
Bruh, at my big age of 9, I got scammed. I felt so.
I wouldn't say I was down, but I was definitely broke. And someone messaged me that I want money.
Nah. And you said yes.
On
Not this
Instagram.
person.
Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. But I've been what's the thing? A victim. A victim of a victim of absolute disgusting scam. And when I was actually doing computer science and I was telling my computer science teacher, he was borderline laughing at me, and I've just been.
Well, that's not very nice of you, sir.
Nah, he's an amazing guy. I don't blame him. It was embarrassing.
I'll allow it because she said it's fine.
Yeah. But other than that, a social media lie is another one should be like, you know, thinking that, you know, I guess.
You know, I asked a question, but I don't have an answer either.
Yeah.
Everything is lies.
Everything is lies.
Everything is lies. You know, I feel like
Nothing what's even real.
you know, I'm not gonna be so honest with you. I would make day in the life and
Oh, same.
timestamps. Those were not the timestamps. Like I'll wake up 1 o'clock. I think I'm done at 7:30. You know, I woke up at 100 and then I just woke up at 100. Like I'm
Yeah.
sorry. And
Fajr,
I'm not
I'm back
forgive
to
me.
sleep.
That's kind of crazy. Like don't lie about that, guys. But anything to get the views.
Which is so like, I think I have done like, I wouldn't put timestamps, but I'd like wake up at 1 and then this damn thing starts. I wouldn't put time like, I don't know, you know, I woke up this morning and I'm not telling you what morning it is. You can figure that out.
Morning somewhere.
Yeah, it's morning somewhere. And then I'd be doing that little clip of me doing work. Okay, done.
Close the book.
I ain't doing all that, bro.
But yeah, you know, I think that's the thing. Like, it's full of lies, and sometimes you know when someone is lying, just let them be, man. Content is content. Except if you lie for like crazy stuff, like you know, like
No.
people that scam, people that do crazy things. I'm not gonna start mentioning names, but you know who you are. I can never listen to this video, but like, don't lie like that. Don't lie like that. You know what? Let's name it. You know, I know why I was saying this. You know, Amy and Kanye. The 1,000 pound sisters together, they made 1,000 pounds.
Oh, yes?
Yeah, and they had like a YouTube where they would eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and stuff. And at some point they were like, oh, the one sister has cancer, she died. Like, and I mean, because it's believable. I mean, you know, no offense.
No, joking about death is on a different level. Lying about death is
I think almost 500K they made. And what is with their money? I can't even tell you.
Guys, I have to say something. My mom has cancer. And she's on it. We've been going through.
As long as we share the money.
As long as we share the money, guys.
Okay, why don't you move on to the next
Oh,
one?
okay. Therapy and breaking the taboo. That's crazy. Have you been to therapy? You had a session?
Guys.
You know what? We'll just get into questions. Because we need the deepness of this. Was there ever moments you thought you were told therapy isn't for Muslims? Because, I mean, we all know, if you're a Muslim, even just I don't know, it depends on some cultures, but I know a lot that Desi and African cultures, it's very therapy. Like,
Go please, go sleep, have something
Yeah.
to drink, and it'll be okay.
or
I think it's not nice. I think it's very mean, actually. I don't think that putting Islam and mental health together in a negative way is fair. It's not fair. And see, therapy isn't for Muslims. Now, who told you that, girl?
Yeah.
Who told you that? Because you lying. I'll tell you that. Therapy is for anyone who's going through anything. I'm gonna be real and super duper honest with you guys. And I'm telling Ashton to pay on my You're gonna subscribe. But I actually had my first session of therapy last week. Is it though?
it is, I swear, because you want to, like, help yourself.
It
How did it feel?
wasn't a complete session, right? I was having a terrible day, and my mom was really in the process of getting me into therapy, like it's like an online person, someone like a board, right? And my mom was in the. Basically, what I'm saying is that my mom was like, okay, like just talk to him. I was like, okay. And he phoned, and the second this man started speaking, I started crying. So lucky it wasn't like a Zoom call or video. I was in my bed under the blankets. My mother just put the phone next to me.
Oh.
And he started talking, and I was just like, and I started crying and everything. And then he's like, Mom, like, do you want to talk? I'm like, I started crying some more. And I'm just sitting with my mother like, and then she's like, okay, no, she's not ready to talk today. And so he just like spoke for about like 30 minutes about like, like it's gonna be okay, and explain like how he does things and whatever. And like reassured me that like me feeling bad that day and crying it was okay. I was like, oh,
Yeah, that's
thanks. And that was exactly whenever you're ready, don't even rush. Whenever you're ready, we will continue this conversation. And I haven't really went back. But I'll be back soon one day. But I'm proud of myself, for taking the especially on that day when I was out in the dumps, and I did it. And I was like, damn, like, okay, this is a start to something better. So I think everyone should go for therapy actually. Even if you don't have like big things going on, you're not insane.
I feel like it's just a part of just talking to people. Like, not everyone's okay with talking to the people they know about their feelings. Like, for me, I can't talk to no one. And when I say I can't, it's not even trust. It's like, I feel like you're gonna know you.
I know.
I feel like I've been in such situations.
Okay, so I'm gonna take
Just carry on, carry on.
Okay, we're gonna take your part. Okay. So we can pause. But go on.
So I feel like I've been in situations where it's like, oh my god, when my feelings are used against me if I've opened up. So that's the reason. Well, I don't feel as of yet comfortable to open up to people. But for me, when I went for therapy and I was down in the dustbin, like when I say the girl didn't want to be here. So
I get you.
Yeah. So, and it was very hard for me to open up. It was 4 years.
And I'm very thankful for my mom because she has always been a go-to therapy. Get help, do what you gotta do so that you are your best self.
Yeah.
And last week was the worst week of my life. I was just saying, gosh, I slept the whole week. Did not come out of my room. I spoke maybe to 3 people last week. And that's why I was so excited for this week to have this episode this week and hoping that I was in a better space to come to July. But last week was, wow. And I dyed my hair red last week because I was going so bad.
I dyed my hair red like a couple years back.
You
and
see? I was orange and then I'm red now. And you know what?
Now I'm bald. Yeah.
I love it.
Bald. Actually, I have a rainbow mole. I have a rainbow mole. I'm not lying, I promise.
She has a rainbow mole, so now I need to see her in private session.
Yeah. I didn't mean to say it from I just didn't have it.
But
Cut that out. I don't make
the people don't see that, but you know what I mean. Anyway, but I want to say that it got so bad that I did something drastic like that. I cut all my hair off and dyed it red.
Yeah.
But just to show that I was really bad last week doesn't mean that I'm gonna do it this week. And last week I was like, you know, my life is ending. I'm gonna kill myself. Just for sorry, censor that out.
Yeah.
But this week, like the sun is shining, bro. So cut yourself some slack. It's okay. You're gonna be fine. I know you don't want to hear that you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, because everyone says you're gonna be okay, but you're really.
But take it from us that have been through Lord knows what. That you're gonna be
And I'm pretty
okay.
sure people that have been through worse, and like we're just the tip of. Is it called the tip of the iceberg? I don't even know how to use these words. Like a second ago, what was I saying? Mind-liked people instead of like-minded. Like I am seriously lost today. So it's a flat.
Africa.
Anyways, next topic. How Islam encourages mental health and wellness. Shockingly, because everyone thinks we're oppressed and we're, I don't even know what, because we're sitting here not oppressed.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah. People think that people think that mental health and Islam just don't come together. That is wrong. Again, it's with culture. I swear, I don't like hating on culture, but culture wants me to hate on it, so I'm sorry. So the next question is, how can prayer, dua, and connection to Allah actually support your our mental? The next question is, how can prayer, dua, and connection to Allah actually support our mental health, not just a checklist? Over to you.
Yo,
I don't have an
these
answer.
questions here, like ChatGPT did me wrong. Anyway, I think that it has a connection in many ways with different people. What I think my connection is may not be the same for Ash, or may not be the same for you. But for me, it is just listening to Quran. I can just sit, I'll be doing my work and whatever, and just listen to like a soothing reciter, For me, like that is it for me. Other people like they'll be like, like waking up to Hajj every day, they're like, doing Quran, they do like, but like I don't like to do excessive things, because then I have a really terrible habit of associating things. And so if I'm sad and I say I'm reading Quran, I'm gonna only read Quran when I'm sad.
Yeah, okay.
I'm only gonna read when I'm sad. So for me, it's just doing something like that. You people listen to like calming music, or like, then you listen to the Quran then, and just knowing that, I know again everyone says it, but Allah doesn't burden the soul more than big, Then life is tough, but you're gonna be okay, and that it's for a reason. You may not know what the reason is now, but it's for a reason, and maybe later on in your life, it's gonna all make sense. Like, I had to go through the worst thing ever just so that I can be here today. Do you know what I mean? What do you think about it?
For me, I think it's more of like when I'm going through something like hard or something, just crying and bawling my eyes out in salah, especially in sajda, it feels like, how I said how the therapy session feels when it feels like, this feels like my heart feels like flushed out. I don't know if it makes sense.
I get it.
And it's kind of just like that, and then also like knowing that this life is a test, it's very short. Like, as much as we think, it's going on and on, it's a test, and I just need to make sure I pass this test. After that, I'm gonna be chilling in Jannah, okay? And also, like, looking, obviously the stuff we're going through is hard and all, but also when you look at like the people in Congo, the people in Palestine, Syria, and it's just like the people in Chechnya and stuff. It's like, I know I'm having a hard time, but all this, I literally have I'm living day to day. And it's also like, the Prophet went through so much more worse. I think looking at Sirah as well, I love looking into it, because seeing what the Prophet went through for us, and then it's just like, I know I should validate my feelings as well, but it's like, also come to a point where like, okay, it's gonna be fine, and like, it's a test. I think for me, it's a test. I think if it wasn't a test, I don't know. I
think again with that like before hearing it's a test was like stabbing me in my soul that like, okay, I know that, but still, you know, I just had to learn to love with it.
Yeah.
Learn to live with it. I had to learn to love him, like, you know, I had to learn to live with it because it is what it is at the end of the day, and inshallah, that will be your entrance into Jannah. This one I really want to talk about is that, let's be real, faith doesn't always feel easy when you're struggling mentally, and that's okay. Let's talk about it. You know, guys, we just allow, you know, don't be like me, and you know, for me, Salah is the hardest thing. Like, I really struggle with it. I look like this, and you think that I'm the perfect Muslim. I promise you I'm not. And so whenever I'm going through something, I, you know, detach myself from everyone. And sadly, from Allah too, I just stay in my bed from morning to evening. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to read, and I just jump into bed sometimes. And not that I do it all the time. Guys, if you watching this, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. But sometimes it ends up happening. And, you know, we ask for forgiveness. Allah must, you know, forgive us for doing these things. But please, man. But it's okay to feel, you know, emotionally and spiritually down sometimes. Because we can't be perfect. If we're perfect, we'll lose our mind, guys. We can't be perfect. And it's okay to have ups and downs because even the most spiritual people, you know, had ups and downs in their iman. So cut yourself some slack. Allow yourself to just be and allow yourself to, you know, you're saying that I'm not, before I was reading 2 paras a day, but now you're reading 2 pages. You're still doing it. Just make sure that you don't stop.
Yeah.
Just consistency is key. I should be telling myself that because my last video was a long, long time ago, but here I am with another video. What do you think?
For me, I think when I was going through a really long time, I was completely disconnected with my religion, and it showed me what happens when you're disconnected to your religion. And obviously, one thing I always want to say to others and even to myself is never leave the salah. Even when you like really don't want to pray, it's like just get up and do it. That salah might be the salah that takes you to Jannah, you know? And it's like, for me, it's like, for a person who's really disconnected at a time, one thing, even when I'm burnt out, even when I'm, I don't know, feeling down, well, I'm like, bro, just read your salah. I don't care, like, you can be burnt out, but get up and read it, go back in bed. Like, I just don't want to lose it because there was a certain point in life, in my life where I lost the gift of salah, and it's a gift. It's not something you can just do. So it's like losing that gift is losing your life because at the end of the day, salah is the key to Jannah, and it's like So it's just like I think my main things with it is hard, but I'm like, bro, just at least pray. Okay, when it comes to me being mentally fatigued, I'm like pray because if I'm gone, maybe the next day. You can't repay anything. That's when it ends, and that's just people make dua for you. But is that dua really gonna help? Because you were put on this earth to serve your purpose on this earth, and it's like just do it, bro. Like I'm just like as long as I can just get up, pray, go back to bed. Like I think that's been the most.